Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 3 p.m. here in Chicago, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Actually, it's 3:01 p.m. Sorry, I'm a minute late, guys. Just got a little bit of a late start. I'm having a lazy Saturday afternoon here, but we're here. It's time to get started. Today is Saturday, March 20th, 2021. Hopefully, you guys are doing well today. I had a rest day today. I was thinking I might do the Shamrock Shuffle, AK virtual today. Supposed to be pretty nice weather, but I thought, I'd want to give myself another rest day so that I could be extra fresh, I guess. But we'll try it tomorrow. So tomorrow will be the day. But it is an absolutely beautiful day now. Warming up. We're definitely hitting spring now. And it looks really nice. And it's so nice today that every once in a while I'm just kind of looking out the window. I'm like, maybe I'll just go do it right now. I took the kids to the park today, and it was just such a nice sunny day, and it wasn't that windy. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just do it after we get home from the park. But I'm thinking, no, I'm going to do my morning routine. I'm going to do all my thing and get ready, and we'll do it tomorrow. The wind and the temps will be whatever they're going to be, and tomorrow's going to be the day. But hopefully you guys are having a good day today. Hopefully everyone that's listening on the audio-only version on the podcast, hopefully you're having a good run when you're out there, or having a good commute, or getting some work done on the side while you're listening to this. And everyone that's watching this on YouTube, not live, but after the fact, welcome to you guys as well. All right, not really. Hank Aaron said when he got here, said, beautiful run this morning in the dark, and he saw a coyote up in the burbs. That's always terrifying to me. That's one of the weird things that are around here that is like a fairly regular occurrence, is that there are coyotes. I was going to say wild coyotes, but all coyotes are wild coyotes. But coyotes that are not like part of like a zoo or animal sanctuary, that are kind of just like roaming around. It's just like a weird thing that exists. So, but I'm glad you're okay, Hank. Or not Hank. Sarah Mim says, hi all, beautiful weather today in Atlanta, but chill in the brisk wind gusts. Had a lot of strong wind since last Wednesday. Oh yeah, that's how it's been here too. When the spring comes in, the temperatures are nice, but like it's really windy. And it's difficult because, one, I live right by the lake, and like whatever the weather forecast is for Chicago, the lake is just a little bit different. And when people are like talking about spring temperatures, they get so excited by the temperatures like in the middle of the day. And for some reason, they don't focus on people that run before dawn, so they don't tell us like what the temperatures are really going to be like, or how windy it's going to be in the morning. So you got to really dive into it with the weather here. But I can understand the strong wind gusts, but it just means that spring's coming. Philip Byrne is here, says, what's up, fam? Or what up, fam? And it says he had a 4-mile negative split run with Pip today to help someone team Strava challenge. Ah, nice. It's good to take it easy for the first half and hammer the second. See, I think I don't know if it's like I'm getting wiser or understanding my body more, or maybe like my body just takes a lot longer to warm up than it used to, but I kind of like easing into a harder effort. That's just like the way that I prefer to run anymore. Philip says he got an Insta360 One X2 now. Awesome. And he's possibly to capture some footage of Laura winning as well, or that's his dog. So that'll be fun. I mean, yeah, the only thing that's hard with the 360 cameras and the dogs is they get distracted by it, because you've got this like stick and it's like over them or near them. So I have noticed that sometimes, especially the dogs that I run with, or the dogs that kind of follow me around when we were in Iowa, when I'd have the stick extended, they would keep their distance from me, because I think they were like, what's this guy doing now? So that's something that Laura might have to get used to, but it's definitely fun to film dogs. Just anything outside active with the 360 camera. I'm a big fan. And Roberto Davila says he ran his Shamrock Shuffle 8K this morning, and he did it in 37:16. Great work, Roberto. Says thanks all in this community with a K for inspiration. Awesome. Great work. Great work today. And I thought I saw one more. Yeah, race result. David Prabhu says, happy Saturday. Did the Tampa Gasparilla virtual 15K this morning. Great work, David. That's awesome. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Oh, Jeff Elliott, trying to squeeze in the latest Morgan McDonald before the stream starts. Yeah, I wanted to watch it too, but I was like, oh, I'm not going to have time to finish watching that one. So, yeah, I'll have to get to that one afterwards. Yeah. I'm wondering, is he going to talk about the velocity flow? I want to hear him talk about it like in detail. Hopefully he'll give us some thoughts. All right. Finn M says, good afternoon, evening. What's going on, Finn? Good to see you. CJ Cruz says, yo, what's going on? Long time no live stream for me and been enjoying the podcast. Well, I'm glad you're appreciating it. Yeah, I don't really keep too close an eye on kind of like the listenership of the podcast version. I feel like it's kind of stagnant. But, you know, there are people that are listening to it regularly, it seems. So I'm glad to see that. Or I'm glad at least that it's an option for people like, you know, maybe you normally consume it live or normally you consume it on YouTube. But then like, you know what? Hey, I didn't have time today, but maybe I'll hop on a treadmill and listen to it or that kind of thing. I like that. It doesn't take that much extra effort for me. And hopefully it's not too annoying if someone has like a podcast subscription thing to have that kind of like constantly be in there. So hopefully it's not annoying. That's like as long as it's not annoying, then I'm okay. That's a very low bar. Stevie76 is here, says, yo, what's going on? Good to see you, Stevie. Awesome. All right. It looks like we got Thomas in here saying bully Jarrett, not Robbie. What's going on, Thomas? Good to see you guys. You know what? Oh, here we go. Where'd he come? He came in there a little bit earlier. Good to see Thomas. I just saw that Megan got interviewed by Matt Chittum. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I wanted to listen to that one, but I didn't have a run today, so I didn't have a chance to listen to it today. So I might listen to it. I got some, you know, housework, chores, that kind of stuff to do. So I might pop that on, but I'm really looking forward to hearing that one. So that'll be kind of cool to see or to listen to. Awesome. Good to see you here, Thomas. All right. David Sachs says, hello, everyone. It's a beautiful day in upstate New York. Getting ready to head out with the kiddos. Awesome. Well, it's good to see. It seems like kind of a nice weather day everywhere. Jody wants to know, are you going to try the Puma Deviate Elite? Probably. Hopefully I can get a pair of those. I don't know what the release date or schedule is going to be like, but I'm pretty interested in it. I'm a little bit kind of like needs further investigation as far as like the Deviate Nitro goes. It's interesting. I'm not sure if I like it yet or not, but you know, it's one of those shoes where like if I were at a running store and I tried that on the treadmill, I'm not sure I would have picked it up. But you know, I bought it and got it in the house. So we'll put some miles in it and see how it does. You know, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I feel like there's enough behind them at this point that, you know, it's worth that. If I kind of like got this same feeling from one of their shoes from like last year or earlier, I'd probably be like, yeah, I'm okay. I don't really need this. But, you know, new foam, new sponsored athletes, new kind of like investment in road running. So it'll be interesting where it goes. The Deviate Elite, I'm very interested in that one. I'm also very much more interested in the Daily Trainer. Which one is that? The I think that's the Velocity. And I think I'm interested in the speedier one too. So there's just a lot. I'd like to try them all. That's something for sure that I'd like to try out. So I don't know if I'll be able to get to all of those, but we'll see. And then Jasper Mosley says, why have you not done a video on the Hoka Mach 4? What do you think about it? I think it's very interesting. I did get confirmation from the company that I would normally work with that sends me Hoka stuff, and they are sending me a pair. I haven't gotten tracking information on that yet. So hopefully it's coming soon. But like, yeah, it's coming soon. It's coming. So that Mach 4 video will be coming up. Laura Laswell says, hi from Berlin, Germany. Hello, Laura. Glad to have you here. Welcome. All right. Yeah, Sean Marshall says man bun coat. Yeah, I wanted to specifically try to get the bun a little bit higher up. This morning my sister FaceTimed me, and since I wasn't running, I was actually home. You know, so we had like a nice chill conversation before like my family woke up. Her family was up, but mine, she's an hour ahead, but my family wasn't up yet. And she's like, you got to move that hair bun further up. She also told me that I need to start parting my hair in the middle so that I don't look old. That's the kind of like conversations my sister and I have. So she had lots of advice, critiques, I would say. So I'm going to, you know, she's right though. I think it looks better a little bit higher up, but I'm trying to figure it out. Okay. AD says, hi from Wexford, Ireland. Nice. Look at that house in this picture here. It looks cool. Welcome, AD. Oh, Shannon's here. What's going on, Shannon? And Carlos Griego says, as far as the warm-up says, my mind and body need the first half mile to warm up and get into the mood of a run. Always the hardest part of the run. LOL. Yeah, there's for sure. You know what? On Friday, the day that I ran in the Deviate Nitro, like I told you guys yesterday that, like, you know, yesterday my legs just kind of felt like pretty gummy and just not great. And I was like, oh, shakeout run. I need to shake all this stuff out. Exactly. Because, like, you know, in the morning, I was like not feeling great. I didn't feel like going for a run. And if I didn't have the Deviate Nitros to test out that day, I probably wouldn't have. You know, but by the end of the run, I felt good. You know, I felt like I'd, you know, gotten a lot of the whatever out of my legs, the gunkiness, you know. So I felt good by the time I was done. But it took a while for me to kind of like warm up to just the run itself. I don't think the shoes had anything to do with that. I just felt like it was one of those days. It doesn't happen often. It's probably because I took a rest day. Just messed everything up. So we'll see. I'm taking 2 rest days this week as part of the race week preparations. Not taper, the race week preparation. So we'll see how much I like that, see how my body kind of responded to that. I didn't take them 2 days in a row. So we'll see how that does. But if it works, maybe it's something I'll repeat. But if it doesn't, yeah, no big deal. It's just an AK virtual race that I'm doing. And it says for his dog, we're talking about putting like a action camera or a 360 camera on a stick. It says Pip gets freaked out by camera on a stick. Yeah, I could see that, especially since that dog runs, I imagine, super, super fast, or can run so fast. Yeah, I could see that they'd be like, you can't put anything near me. This is a high performance machine here, you know? Like, I can see a dog being freaked out about it. Like, there were some dogs that I would run with, like that, you know, they'd be running like right by me and we'd be like in a nice rhythm. And so I would try to capture kind of that. And then as soon as I like extended the selfie stick to take a shot, they would kind of like back off and like really drop back far to kind of give me room. And so, which, you know, it's actually pretty a smart thing for the dog to do. But I was like, no, get closer again. It looks better if our feet are close to each other's, you know? Yeah. All right. Shannon says she just got back from the picnic and playground. We had an SOS when someone moved their pants. Fortunately, it wasn't her. And too bad he didn't have a cornfield. Yeah, that's too bad. Yeah, my daughter's, the younger daughter, still wants me to bring like extra stuff every time we go to the playground, you know, just in case. She doesn't need it, but she's like, Daddy, did you bring me some extra clothes? I'm like, yes, I did. Yes, I did. But hopefully it wasn't too bad and everyone's okay. Speaking of that, though, an SOS poop moment. My dog yesterday, like I was sleeping, and then all of a sudden, one of the kids wakes me up and is like, Daddy, 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 wakes me up and like, the dog pooped on the carpet. So I'm like, what? So I wake up and the dog left a giant poop in the middle of the living room. It's like, this dog, I just walked him like 2 hours earlier, and I pooped in the carpet. So like, I had to clean that up. Fortunately, I just bought a one of those, like, it's like a Bissell little machine that's basically like a mini, like a, was like a wet, not a wet vac, but like a carpet cleaner thing. So I was using that on it. And then when I did that, then I like emptied it out into the bathroom sink. But then the bathroom sink was clogged. So then I was like, you know, like half awake. And I was like snaking and trying to unclog a bathroom sink. So I was like pretty annoyed at the dog that I was having to do all this like in the middle of the night. And then I go back to bed, and then I wake up again to him like barking. So I let him out. I go back to sleep again because he normally sleeps in his crate. And then a little while later, I hear him throwing up. So I wake up and he's throwing up on the carpet, not in the same exact spot, but pretty close to the same spot. And he had pooped again on the carpet. So I don't know what's wrong with him. I think he's got it out of his system now, but he's been like pooping and vomiting all day. It's kind of annoying. I don't know. I don't think he ate anything. But, you know, he's been getting pretty bad about eating the baby's food. Like, she'll leave it like unattended, and he kind of hovers and waits for her to stop paying attention, and he'll go and grab it. And she always leaves it somewhere low where he can reach. So maybe that's probably, hopefully that's what happened, and it's not anything worse. But man, yeah, as I was like cleaning up poop and dog poop and dog vomit like the second time in the night, I was like, I'm definitely not doing that virtual race this morning because like I'm not getting any sleep at all. Yeah, and it says, "But he does a dirty protest. What did you do to deserve that?" I'm like, and I don't know. Sometimes he does do that. Well, he'll like, for the most part, he knows like I tend to get less angry about it if he vomits or makes a mess on the tile floor. But then like when he wants me to see it, he knows where to leave it, and so he left it where I could see it. But then the second time, he still did it on the carpet, but it was in a less obvious place. So I think that second time, I guess the third time, he was more like, oh, something's wrong. So I don't know. Stevie76 says, dog ate the mukbang. Maybe. And Thomas says, yeah. I'm going to call that the emoji face. Yeah, and Recycle on Wednesday says, poor pup. I hope it's nothing serious. Yeah, I don't think it is because he's fine now. He's just taking a nap in the sunshine. So I think he's all right. I took him for a longer walk this morning, and he still had more poop in him. And I was just like, how much poop can fit in this little dog? He's like a 20-pound dog. And I'm like, I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, that's like 3 or 4 pounds of poop that I've cleaned up. And I'm like, it's like 15% of his body weight in poop in like the last couple hours. So... Oh man! Oh, Thomas says they're fostering a dog that isn't potty trained. Ugh, gosh. My daughter keeps asking for like, can we get another dog? We need another dog. I want another dog because he misses like my mother-in-law's dog, or my mother-in-law was babysitting her brother's dog for a little while. So there was a time in Iowa there was 3 dogs in the house, and my daughter was like just in heaven. She's like, let's get more dogs, and I'm like, nothing else that poops. No more things that poop in our house. If it throws up or if it poops, it doesn't come in the house. It can't live here. Like that's like no more. And she's like, but I want a dog. I'm like, when you move out, you can get it. You can get whatever you want, but nothing that poops. So no fish, no hamster. She wants rabbits too. I'm like, rabbits poop like crazy. No rabbits, nothing. I've had enough. I've cleaned up so much poop. And I'm like, and I look at my wife, I'm like, and no babies either, because they poop and puke like crazy. Yeah. Oh, Steve says, just walked into the lounge and the rabbit has poop too. She's normally very good. Yeah. Rabbits are cute, but like, poop everywhere. Dr. Josh coming up with the medical facts. People can have up to 20 pounds of poop hanging out inside. So that'd be, that's like 15% of my body weight. Well, I mean, when you're saying someone's full of it, you're not wrong, I guess. Jeff Elliott says, my dog is about 80 pounds and I swear she poops more volume than she eats. What was funny is over the summer when my mother-in-law's dog is a bigger dog, and that dog is a Labradoodle. But like, I feel like they bred like the largest standard poodle and the largest Labrador they could find. It, I feel like it looks like one of those like dogs you would find like on a foggy moor somewhere that you might think is some sort of giant hound. And so it's just a giant animal, big enough to like knock me over all the time. And she does it on purpose. Not try to knock me over, but she always bumps into you, lets you know that she's there. And when we first got to my mother-in-law's house, when my daughter saw the poop, she's like, that's a lot of poop. And I was like, it's a big dog, big big poop. She's like, oh my goodness, that's so much. So it kind of like, it startled her a little bit. Oh, this is disgusting. I didn't know that. Martha says rabbits eat their first poops to get more nutrients out of it before pooping poop that they're done with. I had no idea. That's gross. Yeah. Finn M says, I really want an Aussie Shepherd or a Golden Retriever. My apartment is way too small at the moment, but a running partner would be cool. Yeah, I think about that a lot, but I feel like the setup I had in Iowa was kind of like the best of all worlds. A running dog, if I wanted to go pick up a running dog, I just knew which way I could run by, and I'd probably end up finding one or two. And then if I, the other days when I don't want to like take a dog out for a run, then I don't have to worry about the dog not being properly exercised. Although I feel like, if I did have like a dog that ran, I'm sure we'd be fine, but I don't know. I worry that I wouldn't like find a way to exercise a dog that needed a lot of exercise enough. I mean, that's one of the main reasons we got the dog that we have, is because like he's a pretty lazy dog. He likes to eat and nap and sometimes tip over the garbage, and that's pretty much it. That's like a good day for him. So it's a good apartment dog to have for us. Thomas says, rabbits must have great breath. It makes me think like that, when you think about like make like a rabbit face, if you think about making a rabbit face, they're always like doing that thing with their nose and like, it's like, maybe they're like, what's that smell? Is that me? Is that you? Is it something I'm eating? Like that, what's going through their mind when they're making that little like thing with their face where it's constantly like kind of like sniffing almost. And Roberto Davila wants to know, what's the live stream emoji poop count? I think we've hit a record. Yeah. And that's hard. I didn't think it's a hard record to beat because we've definitely talked about it a lot. And Philip says, the poop talk live streams are the best. I do think that they generally, it's a good signal. It's a good kind of like metric, a reliable metric, I would say. Shannon says, I'm watching my sister's insane Weimaraner next week, and they highly encourage me to run high mileage with it. Yeah, those are beautiful dogs. Their eyes, like who's the artist that used to take like portraits of their Weimaraners? Kind of almost spooky photos, but yeah, those are big dogs. There's definitely someone that owns like a pair of them in the neighborhood because we see them out walking all the time. And then there's someone else that has a Great Dane in this neighborhood. I'm like, who's got a Great Dane in an apartment? Because most of the people that live around here have apartments, and it's a Great Dane that has like a fur coat, like almost like a Dalmatian, so it's like a spotted black and white Great Dane. It's basically the size of a small cow, but it's amazing. I don't think I've ever seen those dogs run, either the Weimaraner or the Great Dane, but I see them outside all the time. E Penguin says the dogs of Iowa are wondering, where did the nice running man go? I wonder if they're waiting. That'll be interesting to see. For Wild 138 says, Weimaraners are wonderful, goofy dogs. My beagle loves them. That's awesome. Very cool. Carl J says, my uncle had a Newfoundland. Talk about big dumps. That's funny. I think it's great because is that a corgi, Carl? Carl's got an avatar of a dog. Looks like a little puppy. Very, very funny. Eric the Red says, we have a Great Dane and he hates running. I've tried. Oh. Yeah, and I imagine like whatever the Great Dane doesn't want to do just probably doesn't get done. That's how I would imagine that happening. Like, I mean, like a Great Dane, I feel like those dogs are bigger than me. It's like I don't really have a lot of like what's like the what's back up behind the threat of like sit, I feel like the Great Dane is thinking, or what, because I know even my dog, 20 pounds, he looks at me, he's like, you're gonna try and make me sit? And I'm like, I was thinking maybe we could do that. Yeah, Carl J says his dog is, yes, a Pembroke Corgi, opposite end of the size spectrum. Awesome. My daughter, there's a Corgi puppy in the neighborhood that my daughter keeps spotting, and she's like, Daddy, we should get a dog like that. I'm like, well, I almost did before I got Buddy. I was looking for like French bulldogs or corgis, but I heard that corgis are not great apartment dogs, so that's why I never got one. And I heard that they shed a lot, so like those were like the two things that I thought. So I'm like, maybe not a good fit for an apartment dog. I was pretty sedentary at the time when we got Buddy, so I didn't really want a very active dog. Jason Hill says, as a first-time dog owner, I've always wanted an Australian Shepherd. Would you suggest adopting, rescuing your brother/sister for the pup? I don't know. I know that they say that for some people, So for some dogs, they need to have companions or they get very bored, and that boredom can turn into, destructive or unwanted behaviors. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't really have much of a thought on that. But I'm sure there's people here that would have some better ideas. And Martha's saying William Wegman. That's the guy with the Weimaraner in front of her. Someone else was saying that too. And I was like, why do people keep saying William Wegman? Now I understand because I asked you guys. Yeah, it was Recycle on Wednesday says William Wegman. That's the photographer. Yeah. Beautiful photos, but like they have like to me, they have like a sadness to them in the same way that I feel like a lot of painting portraits that you might see like in a museum always have like a very like not direct sadness to them, but there's always like a melancholy to them. At least when I look at them. Maybe that's just me, but I see the same thing in a lot of the Weimaraner photos. Now, some of them are more fun and whimsical, so like I don't see it in all of them, but yeah, sometimes I do see that. Mm-hmm. Finn M says, I remember when I was younger and went hiking, I was afraid there would be wolves. My dad said we don't have them in England. Next thing I know, 2 Irish wolfhounds show up on the trail. Yeah, that'd be terrifying. That'd be terrifying. I mean, I feel like, like if I don't know offhand what an Irish wolfhound looks like, but I imagine an Irish wolfhound probably looks a little bit scarier and maybe bigger than my mother-in-law's dog. And my mother-in-law's dog is, I think, big enough and has like the right kind of like fur texture and like the hair length, the fur length, that like if that dog were just a little bit bigger, I saw it like in the right light, and I didn't know, whose dog it, like if I saw it like off leash somewhere, I would swear that it was a werewolf. It's pretty big. I don't know. Maybe I just have an overactive imagination, especially at nighttime. I mean, I might be afraid of the dark. That might be why I don't like running in the dark so much. But yeah, that would terrify me. That would definitely terrify me. CV76 says, my last dog was not the smartest canine in the block. Need a smart breed like a border collie for my next dog. Kids have been asking for one. Oh, yeah. I think that my dog is either incredibly smart or incredibly not smart. One of the two. I don't think there's a middle ground, but like it can be incredibly stubborn sometimes. But I think that I would like one. I mean, I don't really have any plans for it. Nothing that poops or pukes. But if I were, I'd want one. I'd probably get like a pointer. That's probably what I would get. Just because I don't know. I like those dogs. All right. Alan Shrimpton has a running question. Says, Kofuzi, would you get the Endorphin Speed or Pro for a marathon? I have the Meta Racer and love it for the half. Only run marathon so far in the Asics Nimbus. See, for the Endorphin Pro, I think it could. I mean, a lot of people are using it for the marathon, and a lot of people are loving it for the marathon. I don't love it for the marathon. I like the Endorphin Speed better than the Endorphin Pro for the marathon distance, just because I'm moving just a little bit, not as fast as for the half, for example. I love the Endorphin Pro for like half and shorter. Ideally for me, like 10K, maybe up to like a 10 miler, but like, something a shorter distance, just because then I'm loading that carbon plate a little bit more, and I'm loading the foam a little bit more, and I feel like I'm getting more out of it. Whereas once I get to like marathon pace, I feel like, it's kind of, I'm not getting everything out of it, and I'm leaving a little bit of performance on the table. But when I then switch over to the speed, I feel like, this feels nice at this pace. So that's kind of where I'm at. I don't think either answer is wrong, but for my preferences, I would go with the speed. CJ says, what if we made shoes from poop? The ultimate green shoe. I mean, that'd be something. I wonder if they'd smell, but other than that, that'd be interesting. I mean, we need some interesting technology for that, but I mean, if we could have technology that can turn poop into shoes, I would imagine that technology would be used for a lot of things that we consume. Not eat, but other things that we use up, so that'd be kind of cool. Manual GC says, I'm running 5 kilometers 3 or 4 times a week. My weight is 85 kilograms. What shoes do you suggest? I'm running the Pulse Boost HD, but I think I'm still too heavy for them. The Pulse Boost HD, that foam is a little bit denser of a midsole material. So if you're feeling like, you're not, it's not giving you enough cushion underfoot, I would look at, for example, the 1080 version 10 or the version 11. I felt like the version 10 had a little bit, I felt like it had more cushion underfoot than the version 11 does. So like either one, you could try those of the 1080s. I would also look at the Triumph. Those are the ones that I would look at. Possibly the Ultra Boost 20 if you want to stay in Adidas. The Ultra Boost 21 I probably wouldn't recommend for you, but the Ultra Boost 20 I think would be a better fit for what you're looking for. Sorry, I think I'm a little bit dark and it makes me I think that partially makes me out of focus. I think that's better. Is that better? All right. 138 says a poop shoe would have to have a carbon plate. If a poop shoe has a carbon fiber plate, you'd have to call the carbon fiber plate a pooper scooper, right? Right? You'd have to do that. If you didn't, I mean, that'd be such a missed opportunity. Like it would have to be like pooper scooper TM, right? Like if Solomon made this, like the Solomon Ultra Green, it's made out of like cow feces or something like that. It's trying to take methane and like carbon dioxide out of the environment. It's a regenerative or like a material. What do they call it? The word's escaping me, but a renewable resource. And we put a carbon fiber plate in it, the pooper scooper. Right. Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, CJ Crew says carbon plated nitrogen infused midsole with a compost mesh upper. There we go. Awesome. The poop compost shoe. The smell. People would ask, is it breathable? Yes, but you don't want it to be. It's getting silly, but I like it. All right. Brendan Cam says, hello. Just finished a run on the treadmill in the Invincible Run. That shoe plus treadmill makes it so I feel negative impact. Yeah, that's something I'd like to try too. That's interesting. I like that idea, negative impact. Very cool, Brendan. Good to see you again. Let's see. Manuel GC says, sorry about that, not Manuel. Manuel says, also, any idea why the Boston 8 and 9 are out of stock everywhere? I would think that it's because the Boston 10 is coming soon, but I don't think the Boston 10 is coming soon. We were talking about it yesterday that people were thinking or thought they saw there's one last version of the Boston 9 that's going to be coming out. And then we'll get to the Boston 10. So that might be it. It might be they're out of stock because they're not making them anymore. So that could be it. Where does the Asics Grow shoe fit in with this compost poop tech? Well, I think you mean the Reebok had the Grow, the Forever Float Ride Grow, and it's not. I don't think they had compost material, but certainly could. That'd be like the next generation of that, for sure. Yeah, I like that. Neat Penguin wants to know, any thoughts on the Glycerin 19 versus 1080 11 as a bouncy, forgiving daily trainer for easy runs? We were talking about the Glycerins yesterday. I'm still not that interested in the Glycerin 19 personally because I didn't like the Glycerin 18 that much. But the 1080 version 11, definitely like bouncy, forgiving daily trainer is a really good way to describe that shoe. So I'm really liking that one. And I would have to say, if the 19 is anything like the 18, I'd rather go with the 1080 as being more forgiving underfoot and more bouncy underfoot than the Glycerin is. That's what I would think. Michael Walker says, about to run my first half marathon. Awesome. And thinking about the new Vaporfly next week. Yes. Yeah. I think half marathon distance, the Vaporfly, I'm assuming you mean like the next percent. That'd be a great choice. I think that's where the Vaporfly next percent, it's a fantastic shoe. It can run pretty much anything. But I think the sweet spot for that shoe is that half marathon distance. I mean, I suppose if you were going to run like, don't they have like isn't there like a 30K championships? Like if you're running a 30K, something like that, then it would also be fantastic at that distance too. But I think from like half marathon range is like where it's the strongest. But I've run a couple of marathons in the Vaporfly Next Percent. It's a fantastic marathon racer as well. Ooh, Martha says, though, the Glycerin 19 is a lot better than the 18. Consistently, according to multiple reviews, she's read/heard. A lot better? Oh, I might have to get that one. Last year, I felt like the max cushion category wasn't that interesting. I don't know. So I was like, I don't know. Maybe instead of having a top 5 max cushion shoes, I'll have a top 5 trail shoes. But if I do a top 5 trail shoe, it'd be like basically the top 5 crossover trail shoes. So people be like, this isn't really trail shoes. And I'd be like, yeah, I know. You're right. But I don't like max cushion shoes that much. So we'll see. We'll see. Shannon says about the Mach 4, it's so forgiving. She actually ran relaxed downhill today, which is the first time she can remember in almost a year. Oh, very cool. Very cool. I'm looking forward to the Mach 4. I hope it arrives soon. I mean, I didn't need it in any kind of sense of urgency because I was still getting ready for this Shamrock Shuffle 8K. But, once that's over, I don't know what I'm going to do next, really. But it gives me a little bit more flexibility in terms of a variety of shoes that I can run in. So I'm looking forward to testing it out. I'm not sure how I'll really use it. I'm not sure. I'm curious to think of where does it fit in with Clifton Edge, Mach 4, and then Carbon X2. Carbon X2. It'll be interesting to see and then Rincon. Don't forget about the Rincon 2 in there too. So there's a lot. There's a lot in there. Hoka's been making a lot of different shoes. And I think about it. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to kind of parse that out. So I'm looking forward to running that one. Finn says, I hope it's not coffee in the flask past 2. It's coffee in here. That's tasty coffee. Affluent Journey says, are you going to test the Nimbus Light 2? I don't think so. I was very tempted, but I'm not sure that I'm going to. I don't know. We'll see. It'll kind of, if I do, it'll be I'll be coming to it very late. Yeah. Bob Tucson says, I have the Glycerin 19s and I've noticed improved run pace when wearing them on hard surfaces. Okay. Well, good to know. And Finn says, he's giving me a hard time about the cock, but he says, ha ha ha, I can't say anything. My sleep schedule is in ruins at the moment. Yeah, that's okay. It's okay. You can get back at it. And Shannon says, I've heard some people say the Mach 4 can pick up the pace, but it felt a little soft for that, in my opinion. 1080, I could definitely pick up the pace. Yeah, see, so at least my thoughts about the Mach coming into it, not having run in a Mach before, and not really having read much about it, is that I thought it was basically kind of like the Rincon before there was a Rincon. I didn't understand how the Rincon and the Mach 4 are really different, and I'm still not entirely sure. And then some people were saying it was supposed to be kind of like a carbon plated racer just without the carbon plate. And I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, TFXC, he won a half marathon race in the Mach 2 or the Mach 3. I'm pretty sure he did. I think he just outright won a half marathon, a trail marathon somewhere in Minnesota, I want to say, in those. And he says he really likes them for fast running. And so I was like, oh, so Mach 4, you're talking about speed, Mach 3 or whatever it is a speed shoe. So that's kind of what I thought it is. And then everyone's like, yeah, this is going to be the best overall daily trainer speed shoe, do it all shoe. And I'm like, I don't have any idea what this shoe's about anymore. So trying to stay out of other people's reviews and things like that. So, we'll see. We'll see, what it is when it gets here. So I'm interested. I'm very interested. Well, Mr. Random says his running buddy didn't like the Mach 4. Sent it back today. Ooh. Well, so there's a variety of opinions, I think. So far, it seems like the general impression from people I'm getting is that it's good. But what is it good at? I don't know. We'll find out. Um, let's see. Martha says, believe in the run is going to report us to YouTube as not recommended for family listening, though it appears our mental average age is about 5. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe it's not recommended for family listening. I don't think so. I think it's fine. There's a lot of talk about poop, but we're not using foul language, right? So I think it's okay. I mean, with my kids, we talk about poop all the time. Talk about it like every day. But maybe that's because they're my kids. So that could be it. Maybe you guys with your kids don't talk about poop like all the time. But here we do. Munstier Arla says, any good running hats? There's a couple that I really enjoy. Generally, I like Path Projects hats. Those are really good. They great for running. They're moisture wicking, and you throw them in the wash. You can dry them, run them through the dryer, and they come out and they're fine. So like that, I like ease of use, and they don't kind of like get beat up by the washing machine. I also like, I never know how to say this company's name, but Ciele, Ciele. I think they're either French or French Canadian. I don't remember, but they make those like bicycle hats. A lot of runners like to wear them too. I like to wear them. Those are very nice. Same thing, like very breathable. Can handle the sweat, can handle a washing machine. I really like those. And Ben Parks, the hats that have like the Ben Parks logo on it, those are really good hats. So I like those as well. So those are some that I would recommend. Yeah, I think earlier Stevie, was wondering if we are, where do you put it up here? He was wondering if we were about to hit like another COVID surge. And then, where'd it go? Jody says, I find it hard, Jody, who's in Australia, says, I find it hard to understand how bad COVID is. As in Australia, we're basically back to the new normal with everything open back with limited restrictions. Yeah. There's so much about it that's unbelievable. Basically in the way that different people kind of like approach it, handle it, talk about it. So that's, I'd say that's pretty, hard to understand is a great way to put it. A lot of it, there's so much that doesn't make sense in terms of a lot of what's going on in the world. So I can relate to that. And I tell you, from someone that's over here and looking at Australia or like New Zealand, it's just like, oh, how do they do that? What are they doing? Why are there so many people in one place? It doesn't seem right. So like, I'm having a hard time looking at you guys going back to normal. And I'm like, that, what are they, whoa, what are they crazy over there? But you guys have a different handle on it than we have over here. So amazing. Roberto Davila says, my kids were fascinated with the poop when they were young. I couldn't quite understand it. I mean, I think it's pretty normal for kids to go through that. I don't know why poop is so funny to kids. My guess is part of it is adults' reaction to it. You know, it always gets a rise out of the grown-ups whenever there's a poop situation or whenever there's a discussion about poop. So maybe like they key off of that. But you know, if you ever watch like kids together, they'll tell each other, like, even when they think the parents like aren't listening, they'll tell each other poop jokes and they'll just die laughing. It's like, you know, like cutting edge comedy for like a 6-year-old if you just make a poop joke. I think there's just something universal about it. I think it transcends cultures. It's just something that's a universal. Just poop is funny. Human poop, dog poop, bunny poop. It's all funny. Let's see. Yeah, Super Smoke says we talk about it too. Getting ready to start potty training. Oh, yeah. I mean, like we're kind of like potty training again for the baby, but yeah, yeah. It's funny. Like I'm watching right now. Like my younger daughter, she's like wise beyond her years, and she just doesn't want to wear underwear anymore. And so she'll be like, Dad, you know, if I wear a pull up, and I could see like the gears turning in her head. If I just wear a pull up, then I can like pee whenever I want, and we don't have to like stop because I got to go to the bathroom. It's kind of easier for everybody. And I'm like, yes, that's true in a lot of ways, but I would rather you just wear underwear. So she's like trying to like come at me from like it's easier for you. I'm doing this for you, Dad. Like it's basically where she's at on it. So it's very intriguing to see like the way she's trying to manipulate me. It's not going to be long before I'm like, she corners me in like the mental chess match where she's like, and therefore I should always wear pull-ups for the rest of my life. And I'll be like, yeah, totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. But yeah, that's fun. We told her though, we put like the hard limit on like, hey, at some point Disney World's going to open back up again. And they won't let you in a Disney World if you're that as old as you are and you're not wearing underwear. She's like, okay. All right. Well, when we go to Disney World, I'll wear underwear. It might come to that. We might have to take her to Disney World at some point just to get her fully potty trained again. Viklam23 says, do you think your daughter will get into running? I think that they'll both be pretty active. Like today we were coming back from the playground. The playground we went to today was up by the track, coincidentally. And so like while we were playing, there's a lot of people that run by, and you could see people running on the track, and by the track there's a whole bunch of soccer fields. So there's lots of people just being active. And then as we were walking back to the car, so we drove up there, my older daughter was kind of like bored with like, her little sister's walking pace. So we were like walking through the grass, and then my daughter's like, I'll meet you guys at the car. So she just took off and ran, probably like maybe about a quarter mile. She ran the entire thing at a decent clip. So I'm like, she wants to run. So I think she does, but I'm not going to push into it. I think it'll be one of those things where I don't, if they want to just start out running at a younger age, that's great. But, I feel better if they just do a whole bunch of things and just stay active throughout the year. I think will be better. But, and I don't think I have to worry about it with my older daughter, because she likes rock climbing. She likes swimming. So I think there'll be plenty of stuff that she'll do to stay active. But I do think at some point running will be a part of probably both of their lives. So, and if not, totally cool. But I think we'll see it. So I was thinking the other day about like the first time I've taken her to like a little kiddie race before, but like for some reason the other day I was running and I like fast forwarded in my mind to like my daughter running as like an adult. It was just like one of those, I don't know if you have it, or I don't know if Biklam, if you have kids or not, but like every once in a while I have these like daydreams that they just go by in a flash, but it's this entire vignette or story that happens. And in this little vignette, I was cheering at the finish line of a race that my daughter was running, like as an adult by herself. And I was like, oh, that'd be cool to see that. That'd be really amazing. And like, so I had this whole like elaborate scene constructed in my mind, even though like in real time, it only lasted for like a fraction of a second. But so I think, I don't want to call that a vision or what, but I saw it. So I think that I'll be at some point where I see something like that. But again, if not, totally cool. All right. I think that's a good place to end it for today. Tomorrow, there won't be a video, but I will be doing the Shamrock Shuffle AK. And I think I'm not going to do a live stream tomorrow, just so that way, give myself a day off, but also kind of take a break from it. So that way I can kind of, basically I don't want to ruin the surprise for the AK video that comes out. That's like the main thing I don't want to do. So that way I could talk about the AK in that video. And you guys will probably be able to see it in Strava and stuff if you're following me there. But we won't do a live stream tomorrow. There won't be a video tomorrow, but there'll be a video on Monday and then a live stream, Monday mukbang. So we'll pick up on Monday again, guys. All right. All right. Well, in the meantime, Thanks, everybody. Be safe.